Hi, guys. The bipolar astrophotographer is here. It's been a little while since I've been on here, but I feel like I've needed to get on here. I feel like I owe it to you guys to get on here and talk a little bit about why I haven't been on in a little while. And it's nothing happened, nothing major, nothing big happened. It's just, so my last videos that I put up here, I was talking about my trip and to visit my girlfriends up in the Midwest and all the fun, and it was great and it was wonderful. And we get back and I was so tired, like good tired, like it was fine. I got back and I was just tired for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. Then I started really feeling like I was getting my rhythm again and getting back into things. And then I did have a couple of appointments come up. One of which was on Halloween last week. And it was an early morning appointment, which I never scheduled, but that was all I could do to see this doctor. And so I went, and I have a decision to make, and it's looking more and more like the right decision and the hard decision are the same decision. So I'm just kind of put in a tough place right now. I'll get through it. I'll move forward. Chances are pretty good that I'm going to have a procedure done in January. So, this is kind of like the seasons, or I just don't want to be recovering from any kind of surgery during the holidays. We're in November now. Can you believe it? Excuse me. I cannot believe we're in November now. It's just nuts. I mean, what? Thanksgiving is like, oh my gosh, 3.5 weeks away. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast it goes. So yeah. And then I think the time change, even though I'm better with this time change than I am the spring, I'm better about going into standard time than going back into daylight savings time. Even though it's not as hard as the one in spring, it's still hard. And it's hard for other reasons. For those of you who do know, or for those of you who don't know, I guess I should say, I have partial bilateral jaw joints. I had a bunch of surgeries in my 20s. My last surgery was 17 years ago, almost 18. And I have arthritis in my jaw joints. So like 90% of my year, I feel pretty good. But that other 10% is hard. And that day that I had that early morning appointment, Halloween, it was cold. We had our first snow of the season the night before. It was cold. I don't know. It was like 28 degrees when I got in the car to go to that appointment. And then after my appointment, I went and got a coffee and a donut. And then I went and I voted. And while I was in the voting booth, my left jaw joint, and it was doing it the night before too, started pounding, like just pulsing. I've had probably close to a migraine, but this is like a migraine in your joint. And for any of you who have had like dental work where it flares up and like, your jaw, like it's like that. And it was just killing me. And I sometimes I've wondered, because I've read that a symptom in women for a heart attack is jaw pain. Would I even notice? Would I even know that was a red flag? I don't know that I would know that that's a red flag. So I'm sitting here and I'm voting and I'm like, boing, and I'm like, well, at least if I go down, there's people here to call 911 to get me shipped off to a hospital. Fortunately, nothing happened. I took some Tylenol arthritis. That's what I take for it. It took a while for it to kick in, but so far I've been doing okay. It's like once we get in the cold, I'm fine. But after that day, we bounced back. We got back up into the 60s, I think we might have gotten back up into the 70s. Beautiful weather. And then again now today. So I may have some more trouble. So that's just like part of it. So it's just like all this stuff. So I'm like in pain, and then I'm tired, and then I've got these things on my mind about like my medical stuff. And I cut my hair when I get kind of like funky. I take the scissors and I take the clippers, and I don't even know. I don't know. I may not be done cutting it. Next time I do a video, it may even be shorter. I don't know. But yeah, just kind of felt like I owed you all an explanation for why it's been so long, and for also why it might be a long time again. We also haven't had very good conditions for shooting. The last time that I shot, I did a video on here and said I was going to shoot the Tadpoles and I was going to shoot the Pacman with our new L Extreme filter, which I did. And then that was the last time we shot because we have not had good conditions. And like the night before my appointment, I thought about shooting, but it was supposed to snow. Like it snowed that night, then it was supposed to get clear, but then it was supposed to start snowing again or something. I was like, forget it, I'm not doing it. Maybe it was the night before. I don't remember. But I was like, I'm not going to risk it. So anyway, haven't shot. So that's been kind of blah. And my pictures that I got, I'm going to share them with you real quick. I'm going to share them with you while I'm here. This is my starting line, and I need to keep reminding myself that these are my starting points with these two targets because I have a higher expectation of an end result. So this is not an end result by any sight. This is the first result. And so I need to remind myself because I want a little bit more out of both of them. But they didn't turn out bad at all. This is the Pacman. And, remember I shot both of them in one night, so it was split up. So I didn't shoot the Pacman all night, and I didn't shoot the Tadpoles all night. I did them both in one night, so there's only a few hours on each of them. So hopefully moving forward, I can add more data. And I might even use the L-Enhance on top of, with my next batch of images and then stack them with these and see what else comes out. I would like to have a little bit better detail down here in the kind of the dusty lanes and the structure over here. But overall, it turned out really great for a first try. It really did. And then the Tadpoles, look at this guy. This turned out really good for a first try. I've been really too hard on myself about it. Here's the two Tadpoles where it gets its name from. Like I said on the other one with the Pacman, I just wish that some of the details here, excuse me, were just a little bit more, I don't know, silky smooth. Kind of like the Pelican Nebula. Remember when I showed you the Pelican Nebula a few weeks ago? It was just so smooth. It's like hard to explain. But this is, the Pelican Nebula, that was multiple nights of data. And these are just, two targets in one night. So I need to be kind to myself about it. And I need to remember that, you all start somewhere. It's not like traditional photography, which I did for years. The picture that you get in the moment is the picture that you have. That's not how this works. The picture that you get the first time is not your final outcome. It's not your feather in the cap. It's, it evolves. It's an evolving photography, and it will evolve into something even bigger, and better and more detailed and more beautiful. And so, yeah, I just need to kind of be more gentle about my first results because I expect more and then they don't come out as that. And then I'm like, but that's not how it works. It's not how it works with the Pelican. That's not how it worked with the Heart. I don't need to put that kind of pressure on two images. That was one night worth of data. But when I'm in a weird place, okay, when I'm dealing with the things I've been dealing with lately, the health stuff, the time change stuff, the jaw pain stuff, the, darkness and then the cold and, I don't think clearly about other things. And deep space photography is a perfect example where I forget. It's like I forget that that's my starting line. That's not my finish line. And so I think that's in part why this is such a great hobby for me, is that because it does have like a start and a finish. But I feel like in a lot of ways, there's never a finish. I can shoot the Heart or the Pelican and add more data to those next year or later this year or whatever and have a whole new take on it and a whole new result on it that I can be proud of. So I guess I need to look at it as it's a starting line. There's no end. It's just a starting line. So that'll help me kind of, with what we're doing and how we're going forward with all of that. But the weather hasn't been great for it. And hopefully, we're about out of this new moon cycle. I still have a few days, but I don't think it's supposed to be nice. If it clears up, maybe I'll do something with it. And then, like I said, we still haven't gotten the stuff in that my husband's been traveling a lot for work. And so he just hasn't had the time. And now it's freezing and it's hard to motivate yourself to get out there and put the small scope in the dome and do all the stuff when it's cold. And then now it's dark at 5:00. And so we'll get it. We'll do it. But, and he's got some vacation he's going to take around Thanksgiving. So we're going to have some time to get some stuff done. And if the weather's good, which, here we can kind of bounce back and forth. It's not Not just because we got cold doesn't mean we're going to stay cold the whole month. So that, I need to think about that too. Also, another thing about the time change, or not even that, but it's like the difference in light, the more dark and everything. Really, if you think about it, it's like, what? It may be 7 weeks before we hit the darkest night of the year and we start going back. And I can tell by January 1st that the light is starting to come back around. And by the end of January, spring feels like it's right around the corner. So it's not that far. So it's a matter of like, oh, my screen glitched. Sorry. I don't know why it does that. So it's a matter of perspective, right? And so I'm just trying to keep and hold a good positive perspective, even though I'm tired, even though I've been hurting, even though it's cold and things are just, my mind is just, all of it. So I'm just trying to keep a healthy view on things. So I'm sorry that I've been so intermittent on here, hoping to get back and be more frequent, but I have to take care of myself. Last night I played on The Sims for a couple of hours. Like, I didn't do any crafts. I didn't do any handmade projects. I just played in The Sims and watched TV, and my husband ordered Dairy Queen. I had ice cream for dinner. Like, that was so good. I need to make that time for myself and like be in that space for myself. And so that was good. I do have an appointment here coming up. I got to leave in a little less than an hour, so I'll get to that one today. It's a routine appointment. It should be fine. But I just wanted to get on here and say hi, show you my results. We'll go through them one more time. There's the Pacman Nebula. And it's not bad, but I know it can be better. And the Tadpoles, this is really great. I have been too hard on myself, but I know it can be better too. But those were the two that I got from the last night of imaging. Otherwise, all has been pretty well, pretty normal. Just, tired, and I haven't felt great. And I've got some things some decisions to make. And it's just kind of put me in a little bit of a hard place, but it's not a bad place. It's just a growing pain. And, that's part of life, is growing pains and how we get through them, and how we, you don't change your obstacles to get to your goal. Well, no, that's not true. You do change when you're going, there's a quote I can't think of right off the bat, but it's something like, when you set a goal and something like changes your plan, you don't change your goal, you change how you're going to go about getting there. And so I've got some goals and I've got some things that I need to go for, but I'm having to kind of shift how I'm doing it. And that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, pardon me, I've been really stuffy. It's got to be this up and down weather here. It's just, I've been stuffy, so I'm kind of sniffly. But thank you all for hanging in with me and for being supporters of whatever it is I put out here. Whether it's space related or mental health related, or, whether it's just, life and the way that it's kind of unfolding, and how I'm having to kind of think things differently about myself and my future. And it's, to just have you guys as supporters on here really does make a difference. And I felt like I owed you an explanation, all of you. I owed an explanation. And so I just wanted to set aside a little bit of time here to just show you some space. My new starting points for my new two targets, the Pacman and the Tadpoles. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about how it's been, and why it's been so long, and why there may be some gaps moving forward. I've got a lot going on, and we are entering the holiday season. It is going to be a little bit trickier to make this kind of time, so I want to do it when I can and when I feel well to get on here and say, what is happening and what's going on, and be able to do it in a clear and concise way. So thank you all for your continued support, for everything, for my art, for my hobbies, for me, and for my mental well-being. I really, really appreciate all of you, really more than I can say. So have a wonderful, I hope you had an awesome, happy Halloween. We had kids come here, which is, we don't get as many. This is my childhood home. We don't get as many here as when I was a kid, but I still probably, I don't know, the doorbell rang maybe 6 or 7 times. And because we didn't have a bunch of kids, I gave them huge handfuls of candy, each one. I'm like, take it. So that was really fun. And I had a good weekend. I hope you all had a good weekend. I set some time aside. I carved out a little area to make self-care a priority. And I hope you all did the same as well. And I hope you're starting your week this Monday with, I don't know, with, what's the word? Peace, contentment, confidence, power, acceptance, love, grace, all of the good. Just, I hope you're starting the week with the good, because I'm going to try and start mine that way as well. All right. Like I said, self-care is not selfish, and keep looking up, everybody. Talk to you soon.